Carly was diagnosed at a very early age, at the age of 20. She was still a college student, and I guess it's a good thing that she was diagnosed early rather than later on. But it only caused her to miss about a semester of college.
After 4 MRIs and a spinal tap, and they told me that I had MS. It was actually St. Patty's Day of 2005, March 17th. I'll never forget the day.
Jake getting MS, we never expected it. They thought she had a stroke. And her whole left side of her body was paralyzed. She couldn't walk. 6 months later, it happened again. She went paralyzed on the right side and completely lost her speech. When she got discharged from the hospital, they said, we think she has MS, but, she's awful young. We're really not sure. A week later, the doctor called me and said, your daughter's got MS.
I was 9 when I got it, and so they diagnosed me when I was 10.
With the lack of awareness of what MS was, I kind of didn't know what that meant. So at first it didn't spark a happy reaction, a sad reaction, or any type of reaction. It was kind of just more inquisitive of, Carly, what does that mean? And she didn't really know.
When I was first diagnosed, I asked my neurologist if it was the disease about muscles being deteriorated, and he said, no, that's muscular dystrophy. So I had no idea, and then after he told me that I may have MS, I went home and did a lot of research and just read up on it.
I know that in my brain, my body thinks it's a germ, so it just attacks my brain, and then I end up in the hospital.
He feels good right now, but who knows what tomorrow will bring.
I could wake up tomorrow and not be able to walk, and I am not prepared for that. I don't have a wheelchair laying around the house.
We can't whine and complain about the little things. Life is not bad. It's a blessing when you're healthy. The things that we take for granted, just exercise, being able to walk around the block, different things like that other people might not get to enjoy.
It's just like you don't know when it's going to happen, you don't know what it's going to do, and you don't know how to deal with it.
She went in the hospital in February because she couldn't remember our dog's name, couldn't remember the months of the year. She started crying. She goes, Mom, what's wrong with me? Why can't I remember this? I know this stuff.
Any day, any one person can wake up and not be able to see, and that could last for two months, and then they could wake up another day and be able to see totally fine. It's just these flare-ups, as they call them, are very debilitating. One day your left leg just doesn't work.
When they're in pain and they're going through everything on a day-to-day basis, we think it looks normal. We think they're acting normal, so it may affect the awareness that people don't necessarily know how difficult it is on them. I guess it's our job as those who may not have the disease to kind of spread that word that it does affect them in a large way, and do everything we can to help them.
And that's why the MS Society is here to assist those people that aren't prepared for what's to come, because you don't know when it's going to happen.
It's hard, the financial struggles we've had. Our insurance won't pay for Jade's Avonex because they said she's too young to have MS, so they won't pay for it. So I found a sponsor that's paying for 2 years for us. We lost our house. We foreclosed.
I know that the MS Society does provide families and individuals affected with services and with money to get through those tough times.
Certain families need more than what we do, financially, for the utilities or whatever they may need, wheelchairs.
It not only, it's not something that's just like, oh, they don't have the money for the health care. I mean, yeah, a shot a day of every week can cost $1,700 or something, I think is what my sister's, her weekly medical bill for these shots.
I take Avonex once a week. I either do it in my arm or my leg, so it doesn't really hurt. I used to be crying all the time, but it doesn't really hurt now.
$1,000 a shot. She has to take once a week, which is 4 times a month. But if she was on Copaxone, that's $1,000 a daily shot.
The people that are really affected by this are the ones that the MS Society really helps, and it's, you know, they help us all with support, but, you know, financially they're able to help the folks that need a ramp built at their house or aren't able to pay their rent because they're not able to go to work for 2 weeks straight. And it's, you know, that's the reason why we raise money, is to help those people.
Well, I think supporting the MS chapters, doing the walks, doing the bikes, supporting financially so that, you know, whatever they may need to support the families.
If I look at my family, my older brother's had an illness, and my younger sister is now dealing with an illness that will affect her for the rest of her life. And by me getting on board and helping out with something, one, it's personally affecting my family, and I love my sister, and I want to do everything that I can to help her, whether it be directly or indirectly, which is helping the MS Society, you know, helps her out.
We feel like if we help and we can do everything we can at this point, that if we do become in the same situation that others are in right this moment that we are trying to help, hopefully we'll have the same people that will be helping us.
People want to give, whether it be their time, money, or any of the above, and I think that there's a lot of things that the MS Society offers to bring people in, to allow people to feel like they're helping, because they truly are, but at the same time, it, you know, really helps the MS Society to function as an organization.
It's just a matter of everyone coming together and having the support for him and for others.
Well, you can really support MS, like go to MS walks and help and stuff, and then bring us money and just find a cure for MS.
I mean, we need a cure, and the only way to find a cure is to pay doctors grants and stuff like that to find a cure. I think they're really close.
I got to go to Congress, and I got to meet Rob Whitman, and I got to meet Carrie Underwood, and I spoke at the Dinner Champions too. I said that kids do get MS, and I just would like your support, so if you can give me your support.
The MS Society has a ride every year that's about it can be 150 miles, 175 miles. It's usually spread out over a couple days. And the first year that I did the ride, it was up in Chicago, and it was 95 degrees out, which in Chicago is not normal. It was earlier on in the year, and I didn't get much training in. I thought I would, but I didn't. And we got to about mile 85, and my training partner had just left me in the dust. And I said, you know, go on, I'll get there, I'll get to the finish. And I just remember being in the middle of the cornfields of Illinois, and nothing exciting about it other than I was like at 85, and I started thinking about my sister and just how silly it is that I was feeling pain from biking 85 miles and only had 15 miles more to go, when I knew that she had, you know, pain every single day. And then people you see at the finish line that are in wheelchairs, that are cheering for you because they know that, you know, you're doing something to help them and you're raising money. So
My parents were always very active in my life, and, you know, whether it was, you know, my dad throwing me over his shoulder when I was, you know, 7 years old to go up the stairs to go to bed, or, you know, stuff like that, you know, I see myself possibly not being able to do, and it just, you know, it really scares me that, you know, that might be, there might be a day where that happens, and the day where that's not able to happen, it's going to be devastating for me to not be able to be active in their lives. And, you know, one of the big things in, you know, with 2 daughters now is that they're eventually going to be married, and my role in that is to walk them down the aisle, and I really want to be able to do that. And if I'm not going to be able to, I don't know. It's going to be hard.